1-800-500-9459.
All the time on this show, we talk about how businesses are having to work hard and attracting talent and finding good people to work in the companies. At the same time, sometimes we see that there's a mismatch, that there's a lot of people out there, young people coming right out of college that are having trouble finding their first job. That's exactly what Laura Meyer of Brill Street does every single day, connects the dots, and as they say all the time, they see talent differently. Once again, we are on the air live. We're taking your calls at 312-642-5600. We'd love to hear from you with your questions about business, employment, and entrepreneurship. And once again, we're talking with Laura Meyer of Brill Street. Laura, thanks for joining us on Get Down to Business.
Hi, Shalom. How are you doing?
Fantastic. So, Laura, tell us a little bit about what the average day is like for you, working with interesting companies and working with interesting people.
Yeah, the Gen Y workforce is exciting, dynamic, passionate individuals. I would say, and classified as a typical Brill Streeter, they're motivated, driven. They want to prove themselves to the workforce. They want to make their mark. So they come into the office and they're a little lost, actually. But once we, make a good roadmap, 5 years, 10 years down the road, what do you want to do? What would you consider successful? We'll eventually get there, but normally we just meet with the Brill Streeters and then we discuss jobs moving forward, and then we can go from there.
So what's the profile of a Brill Streeter?
I would say, again, motivated, driven, ambitious, conscientious. They are not afraid to show their worth, but they also want to have a healthy work-life balance. They want to be part of the overall success of a company. They want to really, put down the stereotype and the judgments for common Gen Yers.
Interesting. And so there are, as I think all of us know, that there are many companies out there that have had positions open for a while. It's been a tough economy. At the same time, the economy is, slightly improving, and there are companies that are now looking to fill those roles, to find really, really good people. What you're saying, Laura, is that the talent is out there. What's the mismatch? What's the disconnect over there?
I would say there's not really a roadmap to success given at the beginning of the interview. The Gen Yers want to know what they're doing in their day-to-day tasks contributes to the overall success of a company. They're contributing to the bottom line. The person interviewing the Gen Yers, it helps if they're part of the team and not just filling an entry-level position. It needs to be more collaborative, and you get to know me, I get to know you, instead of let me ask you all these questions, and not so standard.
Got it. And tell us a little bit about the employers that you're working with, trying to help them fill those positions. What's sort of the ideal? I don't know if you have as cool of a term like a Brill Streeter.
Yeah.
But what are the Brill Street employers looking for?
Dynamic individuals, high energy. They will do what it takes. They won't leave at 5 p.m. They will bring new issues and programs to the workplace, and not just sit there and let the day-to-day tasks go by. They want to be truly innovative and make change for the city of Chicago.
So let's step back a second. Laura, you are the Director of Talent Services at Brill Street. Tell us a little bit about yourself and sort of how you ended up working with such a great company that's doing such tremendous things.
Yeah, so I met the CEO, Kevin Carlson, while I worked for the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce. Brill Street's a member there. And I was so motivated, and I loved Kevin's passion. He loves helping Gen Yers find their true interests. He thinks if you can find your passion, you will excel. If you're just going to sit in front of a computer, do calls, and not know your worth and not know your contribution to a company, you're not going to like your job. And so he wanted to kind of bridge the gap between the old standard recruiting process, but truly getting to know a person looking for a job, what drives them, what's their passion, what do they do outside of work, making it more of a overall growth process for each candidate.
And just a few minutes ago, as we were sitting here in studio, you mentioned that it sounds like you're pretty well connected in the business community thanks to your time at the chamber, and obviously this seems like your connections are really able to flourish. And now working at Brill Street as the Director of Talent Services, you're able to make those connections, sort of be a matchmaker in some ways, which is really, really cool. I'm sure very, very fulfilling.
And I have found that my own passion is really helping individuals find their passion. I did that at the chamber. I helped, help small businesses and entrepreneurs figure out how to successfully grow their company through their own interests and experiences. We've all been there. We've all been lost. We didn't know what to do after college. And so now we are a resource to helping be a roadmap.
So I've got two questions for you, a little bit of advice that I think our listeners are sort of seeking all the time. We get calls, we get emails, tweets, and all sorts of stuff from many, as you said, Brill Streeters, but Generation Y, millennials, folks that might just be coming out of college looking for their first job. You said that some of them don't have a roadmap. What advice would you have for a young man, perhaps 23 years old, just graduated from the University of Illinois at Chicago, looking for his first job? What advice do you have for him?
Probably my advice would be classified under the oldie but goodie category, because I am still a huge proponent of follow-up emails and personal letters. But for some reason, it fell to the wayside. As soon as you're done interviewing, send an email, write a letter. Dress nicely, show up early. And also during that initial interview, don't be afraid to show your personal interests. Everyone's going to be nervous. It's okay. But once you start truly talking about what you're passionate about and what you truly love, your armor will come down. And, it's a great connection to have that early on with a potential employer. I have to
say, Laura, that's advice that I think everybody should take to heart in business. You have to be passionate. While I might not be looking for a job, every single day I get out there and I'm meeting people, and it's so important that that I have to express my passion and sort of convince people that the show is a good show, that people need to tune in on Sunday at 6 p.m. because they're going to get something out of it. I have to earn that trust every single day, and that's exactly what a job seeker, I agree, needs to do as they're out there looking for their first job. Express that passion and do that. Go back old school, write those letters, those handwritten notes, which is great. But what about for companies? What should companies do in order to attract that talent that they so critically need to get their business to the next level?
Build up the excitement and, at the first interview, lay out that roadmap. Show that because of them, they are a huge proponent to the success of the company. For what they do, they will be able to promote themselves within 6 months to a year. They want to know their roadmap. And build that excitement early on and let them know that they will be a huge contributing factor. Also, probably talk about the culture. Gen Yers love having fun experiences. They want to know that it's a healthy work-life balance. And if you can, provide that to them, that's certainly a plus.
And we were actually introduced to you through our good friends over at Tandem HR, Bruce Leon and his team. And they have sort of perfected that in creating a great environment for people to work and want to come to work. I know I walked in one day for a meeting with Bruce Leon, who's the founder of Tandem HR, and there were welcome signs for a new employee that had just started, and it said welcome, and he was a relatively junior level employee, probably one of your Gen Yers that we were just talking about, and he came in and actually said welcome, and then there were his desk was ready and it was prepared, and his pens and his pencils, everything. It actually made him feel important, and I have a hunch that probably is really important for companies of all sizes. I think that after a company works so hard to recruit talent, you want to probably retain them. So many people probably get multiple job offers in a short period of time, and you want to make sure that you sort of retain the people you worked so hard to recruit. And that's really fantastic that's what Brill Street is doing. Laura, how can people both find out about Brill Street, but also contact you if they have questions?
The best resource would be our website. You can also find information, resume tips, interview tips, overall tips on how to find a job. www.brillstreet.com. My contact information is on there, and please reach out.
Fantastic. Again, brillstreet.com. We're talking with Laura Meyer, the Director of Talent Services. She's doing just fantastic stuff. And as she said, she's got a lot of advice on her website at brillstreet.com. Reach out, connect with Laura Meyer at Brill Street, and make sure you reach out if you're looking for a job or if you have openings. Brill Street can help. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them online at tandemhr.com. We just talked a little bit about their great environment that they're creating for companies of all sizes. So you'll want to reach out and learn some more about their tips. Tandemhr.com. You can also call them at 630-928-0510, 630-928-0510. You can also email them, simplify@tandemhr.com. After the break, we are talking with Cameron Smith who has started a fantastic program called the Bennett Day School, and he's going to tell you about his entrepreneurial journeys, and he's got some great advice and tips for all of those young entrepreneurs that are out there. So we're sort of continuing that theme. University of Haifa, we talked with Michael Rosen and about the innovation that they're doing, Laura Meyer of Brill Street, and next we're moving on to Cameron Smith of the Bennett Day School. You're listening to Get Down to Business, the show that is all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You won't want to miss a minute of it. After the break, Cameron Smith of the Bennett Day School.